are seeing a little bit of sun out there. We're definitely going to get lots this weekend. We're joined by PJ from BC AdventureSmart. PJ, this might be the busiest, most active outdoor weekend of the year around the province. So how do we get out there, enjoy it, but know if something goes wrong, we're safe?
Awesome. Yeah, it definitely is one of the busiest ones. You're correct on that. A big part of what we like to say is our 3 T's. So we always want to leave a trip plan. That's letting somebody know where we're going, who we're going with, what activity, but make sure we leave it with somebody who's not coming along with us. Getting the right training for our activities, and then always taking the right essentials with us. We don't want it to seem like a lot of stuff that we have to pack up with us, but we always want to have this stuff just in case we were to twist an ankle, get turned around, something like that. If we had to sit and wait for search and rescue, we want to be comfortable while we're doing it.
Okay, let's go through some of these items. We'll start off right here with some of the smaller items.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
Awesome. So we've got our, our first aid kit, just having something there, minor one, not a huge one, just something, scrapes, bruises, blisters, that sort of stuff. We've got our emergency blanket. This thing opens up. It's a big kind of foil sheet. Okay. We can wrap that around us. It reflects our body heat. We like to tell the kids it turns us into a human burrito. That's the easy way to remember that one.
And these are more effective than you might think. And you see this with search and rescue crews when they're pulling people out of the backcountry. That's the first thing that they put on.
Definitely,
right?
Yeah.
All right, let me take a look at that.
Yeah, we can pull it out and swing it out. Right. We always want to have some sort of navigation aid. We recommend map and compass and learning, getting the right training to how to do that, just because it doesn't require a battery, and we don't want to require or use our phone because we'll kill the battery as we're using that phone. We want to save that in case we ever needed to call for emergency.
Should we think about that, having a secondary phone that you're not using at all?
Yeah, I like to say that we don't use our phone for anything except for maybe pictures, and keep it on airplane mode unless we needed to make that emergency call.
So it's not running down unbeknownst to you.
Yeah.
This is super thin and super small, but you're right. You just wrap this up, and then you're like baked potatoes in the oven.
Exactly.
You're reflecting the heat
I've
back
had to use
yourself.
one once. I had a down sleeping bag get soaking wet. It was only about an hour and a half until I had to start actually letting heat out. I was starting to sweat, so it works great. A big one we want to talk about is layers as well, especially with this weekend coming up. We've got some rain in the forecast, but also some lots of heat and sun. So, making sure we're not just in shorts and a t-shirt, because if something were to happen, we want to have some extra layers to put on while we wait for search and rescue to come find us.
So you'd put something like a fleece, some base layers, and you'd stack them into your backpack.
Exactly, yeah. I like to say, this may look like a lot, but all this packs up right into the hood of my extra layer.
Really?
And I tuck it in, and it only takes up, about a third, maybe a quarter of this backpack, and lots more room for extra food and snacks, like we mentioned, because we always want to have that. The main thing I like to say is we want to have extra. Bring some more than what we plan to need in case we have to spend some time.
And you mentioned the heat and the sun, and you have sunscreen here. You also have water, a couple of crucial items.
Yeah, we like to say have at least a liter per person per day when we're heading out there. So if we're going on a backcountry trip, we want to have a liter per day, or at least some way to purify water if we were drinking out of streams. We don't want to drink directly out of a stream or a river.
And that's what this is here. Yeah. This is water purification tablets. You drop in your water, and then you'd fill it up with stream water.
Exactly, yeah. The more moving water, the better. Still water, not as good. This won't actually clear the dirt out of it, but it'll kill any bacteria so we don't get any stomach
fever
bug.
or whatever you might catch there. And you also have a map here as well.
Map and compass.
Sunglasses, hat, raincoat. You might not expect rain, but you're going into a place that's not similar necessarily to what it looks like when you're leaving.
Yep. Actually, we have more people rescued with hypothermia in the summer than we do in the winter, and it's purely from just being out in the woods, getting cold from maybe being sweaty or the wind picking up, and not having those extra layers to keep us warm and dry while we're sitting there waiting for search and rescue to come.
Incredible information, PJ.